How did I go from laughing at my husband's jealousy to standing in my office tower lobby while a stranger handed me divorce papers? Why did everyone go quiet when I saw the temporary orders and a hearing date, like they already knew I lost? I'm Serafita Moore, 33, and I know what I deserve. I planned my life like a clean list, not a cage. Graham Holt was my husband, steady, kind, and always predictable. I told people he was safe, but safe can feel small. I worked events for a tech company chasing noise and praise. At home, Graham measured love like chores, calendars, and calm routines. I said I wanted romance, and he gave me scheduled affection. He asked what I needed. I said I needed space and freedom. I did not say I needed Noah Raines too. Always. Noah was my best friend, my old secret comfort, my shortcut. I called it honesty because I never promised Graham perfection. I told myself grown people can hold many connections at once. Graham called it disrespect. I called it insecurity with a neat label. That night started on a rooftop bar near my office tower. The same building later held meetings, drinks, and quiet career gossip. The sky was cold and city lights looked like approved excuses. Graham walked beside me, trying to match my fast steps. He asked why I insisted on this place again. I said ambience mattered. Cass Wynne texted me that I should not shrink for anyone. I liked Cass because she clapped when I acted bold. Graham did not like Cass because Cass watched him like prey. I said Cass was honest. Graham said she liked drama and damage. I told him he was judging women and he needed to grow up. The elevator opened and warm music rolled out over us. I felt seen already before anyone even greeted me. Noah was there, of course, wiping glasses behind the counter. He smiled like he owned the air around my name. Graham noticed first and his mouth tightened without a sound. He asked if Noah worked here now. I said Noah worked everywhere. Noah leaned over and his voice made my skin remember choices. He asked how my week was. I said it was busy and boring. Graham asked why Noah touched my wrist. I said it was friendly. Noah offered us a table near the railing, facing the skyline. I sat beside Noah first, then waved Graham into the remaining chair. Graham asked why I did that. I said seats do not matter. Noah told a story about a wedding he shot last weekend. I laughed too loudly because laughter can drown questions fast. Graham watched my face like he was taking a quiet measurement. He asked if I told Noah our plans. I said everyone knows everything. Cass arrived with 2 friends, bringing perfume and loud certainty. Cass hugged Noah with a long squeeze, then winked at me. Graham greeted Cass politely. She answered like he was invisible. I told myself that was funny, not cruel, not important. Cass asked if Graham was still in his strict phase. I said yes, and I rolled my eyes for an audience. Graham asked what strict phase meant. I said it meant boring rules. Noah said Graham should relax. I nodded like a judge. Graham asked why Noah spoke about our marriage. I said Noah cared. Cass raised her phone for a quick story, framing us carefully. I leaned closer to Noah because it looked effortless on camera. Graham shifted his chair back and the metal scraped the floor. He asked if I could stop performing. I said he should stop accusing. Cass posted anyway, tagging the bar and adding laughing emojis. I felt a small thrill, like I had already won something. I excused myself, saying I needed a restroom break quickly. In the hallway, my phone vibrated with a soft, private insistence. A notification preview showed Noah's lock emoji beside my nickname. I turned my screen down, like that could erase the truth. Graham stepped closer and asked who messaged me. I said work. He asked why my face changed. I said the lights were harsh. I said my phone was my business, and he should trust me. He asked why I changed my passcode last week. I said security. I did not mention I changed it after Noah joked about privacy. Back at the table, Graham tried to keep his voice steady. He asked if I still slept with Noah. I said he was imagining. I said Noah was my best friend, and best friends are forever. Noah watched Graham with an amused patience that felt disrespectful. I liked that Noah never begged. He simply waited for openings. Cass asked Graham why he hated strong women so much. Graham said he did not hate women, he hated being mocked. Cass laughed and said he was too sensitive for modern love. I joined the laugh because joining feels safer than stopping. Graham looked at me like he expected me to choose him. I chose the moment because moments make people clap and nod. Noah offered a round of drinks, then said mine was on him. Graham asked why Noah paid. I said it was just kindness. Graham said kindness can be a mask. I said he saw monsters everywhere. A wind gust hit the railing, and my hair whipped my face. Noah reached up and tucked my hair behind my ear gently. Graham watched that touch like it was a public slap. He asked Noah to stop. Noah asked why Graham felt threatened. I said Graham was ruining the vibe and embarrassing me. I told him a husband should be confident, not needy. Graham asked if confidence means accepting cheating. I said stop using ugly words. I said labels make people lazy, and my life was nuanced. Graham went quiet, and quiet always made me angrier. When he stayed calm, I could not call him unstable. He checked his phone once, then turned it face down again. I caught a calendar alert flash on his screen, then vanished. It read, Cedar Park, 9:10 a.m., like a hidden appointment. I asked what that was. He said it was personal. I said personal secrets. He said privacy is not betrayal. I hated that answer because it sounded reasonable and adult. We left before midnight because Graham refused another drink. In the elevator, the mirror showed us as strangers sharing air. Graham asked if I enjoyed humiliating him. I said he humiliated himself. I said he chose to be tense, and I chose to live. Outside, the parking garage smelled like oil and old concrete. My heels clicked fast, and I made Graham chase my pace. He asked why I was angry. I said he was controlling me. He said he only asked for respect. I said respect is earned daily. I said I earned respect by being desired, not by obeying rules. Graham opened the car door for me, still polite, still lawful. I rolled my eyes because politeness can feel like a trap. He drove us home in silence, keeping both hands steady. At home, the living room felt too bright after the bar. 2 mugs sat on opposite sides of the coffee table. I noticed that separation and pretended it was childish from him. Graham asked if we could talk like adults. I said he was lecturing. He asked what Noah meant to me. I said Noah understood me. Graham asked if he ever could. I said he never even tried. He listed things he did. I said those were chores, not love. He asked why I stayed married. I said marriage is partnership, not prison. He asked if partnership includes lying. I said he forced lies with jealousy. I told myself that logic was clean, even if it hurt. Graham stood, then walked into the hallway without slamming anything. I heard his phone buzz once, then stop like muted control. He went to bed early, not asking me to follow. I sat alone, scrolling Cass's story, watching my own smile loop. I told myself I looked happy, and happiness proves I am right. Then my phone lit again, close and sudden against my palm. Morning light felt mean, and Graham moved like a quiet ghost. He asked if I slept. I said I was fine. I watched him make coffee without offering me a cup. 2 mugs sat apart like we needed a border now. He checked his phone, then slid it into his pocket. I asked about the Cedar Park alert. He said it was personal. I told myself he was hiding something to punish me back. At the office, I wore a dress that said confidence loudly. I wanted co-workers to see me as free, not guilty. Cass sent laughing stickers, asking if Graham survived the night. I replied that he was moody, and she should ignore him. Priya, my manager, waved me into her glass office. She asked for a quick word. Her tone stayed too calm. She said a tagged rooftop photo looked unprofessional for my role. I said people overreact, and my husband creates drama at home. Priya asked if my personal life was affecting clients and deadlines. I said my work stayed perfect because I know how to focus. She nodded, but her eyes looked like they saved a note. Walking out, I felt insulted, like they blamed my sparkle. At lunch, Cass posted the story again, adding a sly caption. She wrote that some men fear strong women, with a wink. I liked it, because it turned my choice into a moral fight. Later, a co-worker asked if Noah was my brother or my date. I laughed and said he was family, and people are childish. The co-worker looked uncertain, and I hated that hesitation. When my phone buzzed, I tilted it away without thinking. A message preview showed Noah asking if I missed him today. I deleted the preview, then told myself honesty would come later. Graham texted asking about dinner. I said I had a late meeting. It was half true because I planned a quick stop elsewhere. On my desktop, I saw my calendar and it looked clean. Graham's calm voice in my head made me feel judged. I told myself he wanted control, not love, and that mattered. After work, I went to the supermarket to look normal. The checkout beeped fast and the line pressed close behind me. A joint card alert popped up, showing a bar charge earlier. I knew it was Noah's place, but I pretended surprise anyway. Graham called and I let it ring twice to feel power. He asked about the charge. I said he was tracking me again. He said it was our shared card. I said he acted like the police. He asked if I could explain. I said explanations feed paranoia. I heard a pause, then he said, "Okay," and ended gently. On the elevator, a neighbor said she saw me downtown late. I smiled and said it was a work emergency, then looked away. That polite ending annoyed me more than any angry shout. When I got home, he was not in the living room. I heard water running, and a drawer clicked shut upstairs. On the stair landing, his phone lit up as private, then dimmed. He walked past me wearing headphones and said he was busy. I asked who he spoke to. He said it was a personal call. His face looked distant, like my words could not reach him. He asked if I ate. I said I grabbed something outside. He did not ask where, and that scared me a little. I tried to start a fight because fights keep attention locked. I said he was cold and manipulative with silence. He said he was tired, and he wanted peace for Mila. I told him Mila was fine, and he was overreacting again. He asked if Noah would be around Mila. I said never. I left out how Noah sometimes dropped me off near school. The next morning, Graham's calendar chimed. Meeting. Personal. He dismissed it quickly, then asked Mila about her backpack. I asked where he was going. He said he had errands. A second alert flashed. Union Station, 2:45 p.m., then vanished. I joked that he was dating someone. He did not smile. He said he would be home on time and left quietly. After he returned, something in him felt organized and colder. He moved mail into a neat stack facing away from me. He asked about our bills and I said he was obsessed. He said he wanted clarity, then wrote numbers in a notebook. I saw his keys on a different shelf, like a boundary. That evening, I met Cass at the gym corridor entrance. She asked if Graham apologized. I said he was getting worse. Cass said I should post something vague to control the narrative. I agreed, because stories are weapons when facts feel messy. Back home, Graham made Mila a snack without looking at me. He asked Mila about school. She said she liked her teacher. I tried to interrupt, but he kept his focus on her. Later, I saw his laptop open on a plain spreadsheet. It showed initials and dates, then minimized when I approached. I asked what he tracked. He said household matters and timing. I said he was building a case. He said he wanted truth. That word, truth, made my stomach tighten in a new way. I posted a close friend's story about needing space from control. I did not name Graham because naming would force accountability. Cass replied with fire emojis, calling me brave and modern. Noah texted asking to meet behind the office tower for 10 minutes. I said yes because I hated going home to silence. In the parking garage, his car faced the street, ready. He asked if Graham suspected. I said Graham suspects everything anyway. Noah said I deserved passion. I said I deserved options. He kissed my forehead, and I called it harmless on purpose. A security camera blinked red above us and I ignored it. When I returned, my phone showed a rideshare history I never explained. Graham asked about my late meeting. I said Priya kept me. He said he would verify nothing, and that felt worse than yelling. Graham saw the glow on my screen and said nothing. He asked only what time I would pick Mila up tomorrow. I said I would manage it. He said he needed exact times. I called him rigid. He said children need predictable plans. He went to bed early, leaving the hallway light off. I stayed up waiting for him to crack and beg. Instead, he sent a simple text about the card budget. He wrote that new bar charges should be discussed first. I replied that he was controlling and I would not negotiate. He answered okay, and my anger had nowhere to land. The next day, Priya stopped by my desk, face serious. She asked if my social posts involved workplace people and clients. I said it was private and she should not police my feelings. Priya said optics matter and she needed me to be careful. I left that talk burning, blaming Graham for the pressure. That night, Graham cooked quietly, then cleaned without my help. He asked if I wanted to talk. I said he already judged. He said he was not judging, he was observing patterns now. I told myself he was acting superior, like a cold teacher. Still, his calm made the room feel smaller and sharper. I noticed his phone charging beside him, face down, always close. I wanted to grab it, but he looked up immediately. He asked if I needed something. I said I needed trust. He said trust needs truth, and I felt my cheeks heat. I told myself the river air would calm Graham and fix everything. I picked the riverside promenade because it looked innocent in daylight. Noah met me there, smiling like he belonged beside my hip. Graham asked why Noah was there. I said it was coincidence. Noah asked if Graham wanted a drink later. I said yes. Graham said he planned a quiet evening with Mila. I laughed. I said Mila would be fine, and adults need fun. Graham asked why fun always included Noah. I said he overthought. Noah walked close and his shoulder brushed mine on purpose. I let it happen because it proved I was still desired. Graham stared at the water like he needed distance from us. I asked if he was sulking. He said he was observing. I hated that word because it sounded like careful judgment. I said he should relax because nothing wrong was happening. Noah asked about my week. I said Graham made it heavy. Noah said I deserved lightness. I said I deserved freedom too. Graham asked if I heard myself. I said yes, and I meant it. A couple passed us and the woman glanced at Noah's hand. She looked at my ring, then looked away too quickly. I pretended not to notice because noticing would admit consequences. Graham asked if I saw that look. I said strangers always stare. Noah joked that people envy chemistry. I laughed louder than needed. Graham asked if we could go home now. I said later. I said we were meeting Cass soon, and it was planned already. Graham said he did not agree to the club. I said he did. He said he agreed to dinner, not dancing with Noah. I said dancing is harmless, unless you are insecure. Noah said he could drive us because parking was easier. Graham said he would drive because it was our family car. I said Graham was controlling transportation now, like a parent. Noah smirked, and that smirk felt like a private victory. We walked back toward the parking area with the sun dropping fast. Graham's phone buzzed and he stepped behind a bench. I heard his voice lower like he did not want me listening. The screen lit briefly with no caller ID, then went dark. I asked who called. He said it was nothing important. I said secrets destroy trust. He said privacy can save peace. That answer made me feel like the villain, and I hated it. In the garage, he kept his phone face down on the console. He drove carefully, obeying lights, like rules were his comfort. I watched Noah in the mirror, relaxed and pleased with himself. Noah texted me from the back seat, even while sitting. My phone buzzed once and I angled the screen away. Graham asked why I smiled. I said I remembered a work joke. I knew my lie sounded thin, but I refused to care. At home, Mila ran to Graham and asked for a story. Graham said yes, and he sat with her on the rug. I stood by the doorway, feeling strangely left out. I told myself he used Mila to avoid talking to me. Cass called, asking if we were coming out tonight. I said yes, and I said Graham would join us too. Graham looked up and his eyes showed he heard me. He asked why I promised for him. I said it was normal. I said husbands should support their wives socially without complaints. Graham said he would not be humiliated again. I said stop dramatizing. He asked if I cared how he felt. I said he cared too much. That night I dressed fast, choosing something that turned heads. I wanted the club to see me as wanted, not married. Graham wore the same jacket like he hoped to disappear. He asked if we could stay 1 hour. I said too. In the car, his phone lit with a calendar reminder, then dimmed. I saw the words Lakeside 7:35 p.m. before he swiped away. I asked what Lakeside meant. He said it was a personal errand. I said he was hiding a second life. He said he was protecting peace. I rolled my eyes because his calm felt like silent revenge. At the club entrance, bass thumped through the sidewalk concrete. Cass waved hard, pulling me into bright lights and noise. Noah greeted us at the door like it was his kingdom. Graham asked why Noah was always first to greet me. I said because Noah is friendly, unlike some husbands. Cass asked Graham if he was ready to loosen up tonight. Graham said he was here for me, and for 1 hour. Cass laughed and said strict men always crack eventually. I told myself her laugh was support, not cruelty. Inside, the dance floor was packed and hot, like a furnace. Noah took my hand, and I let him lead immediately. Graham stood near the edge, watching like an outsider. I waved at him, pretending I invited him into fun. He shook his head slightly, and I felt insulted. I told myself he wanted to punish me with refusal. Noah spun me once, and people cheered like it mattered. Cass lifted her phone and started recording our smiles together. I leaned into Noah, because cameras reward bold women. Graham stepped closer and asked if I could stop performing. I said I was not performing, I was finally living. He asked if living meant disrespecting him publicly. I said stop. Noah said Graham should dance because jealousy is unattractive. I nodded, acting like Noah was the wise one here. Graham asked Noah to stop commenting. Noah asked why he felt threatened. I said Graham always plays the victim, and it is exhausting. Cass shouted that we needed a toast, right now, together. Someone nearby repeated it, and the chant started growing fast. I felt power rise, like the room was on my side. Noah lifted a glass and said I deserved someone who kept up. I laughed, and I did not correct him at all. Graham's face stayed still like stone in loud music. He asked if I enjoyed this. I said he chose to be offended. I told him he could leave if he wanted, like a test. He looked at me, then looked past me, and nodded once. He walked toward the exit without pushing anyone, without raising his voice. Cass called after him, asking if he was going to cry. I said he needed space because he was dramatic tonight. I followed Noah to the smoking patio, chasing cooler air. The patio smelled like sweet smoke and metal ashtrays. Noah leaned close and asked if Graham finally understood his place. I said yes because saying no would weaken my position. My phone vibrated again, and I saw Cass posting another clip. I commented with laughing emojis, as if it was harmless fun. I looked through the glass door and saw Graham outside. He was on his phone, facing away, shoulders steady and still. He ended the call, then pocketed his phone without checking messages. When he came back inside, his eyes looked different, more distant. He asked for Mila's school pickup time tomorrow, very calmly. I said he was changing topics to avoid feelings. He said he needed facts because he planned tomorrow carefully. I mocked his planning, calling it his favorite control hobby. He did not answer, and that silence made my stomach tight. Back on the dance floor, I pushed harder, laughing louder. I wanted the room to drown out my small fear. I told myself Graham would beg later because he always did. But he did not beg, and he did not even glare. He simply watched, like a person collecting a final memory. I felt suddenly exposed, like the lights were too bright. I grabbed Noah's hand and raised it, like a victory sign. Someone at the bar lifted a phone, aiming straight at us. The restaurant lights felt too bright, like they wanted confession. I chose the family place because it looked safe and normal. I told Graham this dinner would reset everything between us. He asked why Noah needed to come. I said support mattered. Noah arrived early, greeting my mother like he belonged. My mother, Inez Moore, hugged him with dramatic warmth. Graham greeted her politely. She answered with cool, thin courtesy. Cass slid into the booth, smiling like she planned a show. Dahlia came late, watching my face like she feared damage. Mila climbed beside Graham, holding his arm with small trust. The long table filled with plates, clinking glasses, and forced laughter. I leaned toward Noah because closeness proved my point publicly. Graham asked if I could sit nearer to him. I said seats were childish. My mother asked Graham why he looked tense. He said nothing. I answered for him, saying he was in another jealous mood. Cass laughed, then asked Noah to tell his funny story again. Noah described a couple he photographed, acting like love is playful. I nodded, because playfulness made my marriage look stale and wrong. Graham asked how Noah knew so much about our weekends. I said Noah listens. Dahlia asked if Noah was coming to family dinners often now. I said yes, because family is chosen, not just married. Graham looked at Mila, then asked if we could talk later. I said later means never, and we should settle it now. My mother told Graham he should stop controlling my friendships. Graham said he did not control me, he wanted respect. Cass asked Graham why respect scared him so much. I said he was scared of strong women, and that was old. Noah raised his glass and said I deserved joy and freedom. People at nearby tables glanced over, curious about the loud energy. Graham asked if this was appropriate around Mila. I said Mila hears worse. Mila asked why everyone talked fast. I said adults were joking. Graham asked Cass to stop mocking him. Cass asked why he felt attacked. I said he always made himself the victim to guilt me. My mother nodded, like she judged a weak man at trial. Dahlia watched Mila, and her face tightened with quiet worry. Noah placed his hand on my shoulder, casual and confident. Graham asked Noah to move his hand. Noah asked why. I said Graham was embarrassing me and ruining the family evening. Inez asked Graham why he could not just relax and smile. Graham said he was trying, but he felt humiliated tonight. I laughed and said he used big words to sound important. Cass said Graham acted like a supervisor, not a partner. I said I needed a partner who trusted me without conditions. Graham asked if trust includes private nights with Noah. I said stop. Dahlia asked if I was sleeping with Noah. I said she was rude. I said Dahlia always envied my confidence and freedom anyway. Dahlia said she only cared about Mila and the truth. I said truth is flexible and feelings matter more than facts. Graham went quiet, and his quiet made the table awkward. My mother filled the silence, saying Graham was cold and manipulative. I watched Graham's face, hoping he would finally explode publicly. He did not explode, he simply ate slowly and listened. He asked Mila if she wanted dessert. She said yes quietly. Noah joked that Graham should loosen up because life is short. I smiled and said Noah understood me better than most husbands. Graham looked at me, then looked down like he locked something away. When we left, the air outside felt sharp and restless. Graham held Mila's hand, walking slightly ahead from our group. Cass whispered that tonight proved Graham was the problem, not me. I agreed because agreement kept my story clean and easy. At home, I saw a red circle on Graham's wall planner. I asked what the circled date meant. He said it was important. His phone chimed with a reminder, then he silenced it fast. I caught the words, Stonebridge 11:05 a.m. before it disappeared. I joked he had secret meetings. He said he had responsibilities. The next day, he left without discussing it further with me. When he returned, he looked calmer, like anger no longer served him. He carried a thin binder labelled bank, thicker than simple bills. He stacked mail neatly, then opened it alone at the table. He asked what time Mila's pickup line started. I said he knew. He said he wanted exact times, because schedules matter for children. I told myself his calm was an act, meant to punish me. He moved his phone charger to his side of the living room. He kept his phone face down, always close, always ready. He asked if Noah ever drove near Mila's school. I said no. He asked again, slower. I said he was being paranoid. He did not argue, and that made my chest feel tight. At school pickup, the line crawled and parents stared quietly. I felt their eyes on my clothes, my smile, my ring. Mila came out, and she ran straight to Graham first. I forced a laugh, saying kids always prefer the calmer parent. Graham asked how her day was. She said it was fine. Mila looked up at me, then asked a question too clearly. She asked why Noah hugged me like a boyfriend at the club. I felt heat rush into my face, and my throat went dry. I told Mila she misunderstood, and adults hug friends sometimes. Graham asked Mila where she heard that word. She said kids talk. A mother nearby turned her head, then pretended to check her phone. Graham asked if we could talk in the car. I said not here. Mila asked why Dad sleeps in the other room now. I said Dad likes quiet, and it was not about us. Graham said it was about peace, and his tone stayed steady. At home, he walked Mila inside, then washed her hands gently. I stood by the bedroom doorway waiting for my opening fight. Graham moved a pillow into the guest room without looking at me. I asked if he was leaving me. He said he was resting. I said he was punishing me to gain control again. He asked me to stop turning everything into a battle. I said he started the battle by judging my closest bond. He asked if my bond mattered more than our marriage. I said my identity mattered, and he wanted to shrink it. He asked if I could pause Noah for our family. I said no. I said I would not end a friendship because of insecurity. Graham nodded once, and his eyes looked farther away. He asked only about Mila's next school event and timing. I called him cold. He said he was being practical now. He organized his side of the closet into neat stacks. He separated towels, and he placed a mug apart again. I told myself he was dramatic, and I was still right. Still, the house felt like it was choosing him slowly. He stopped arguing, and that silence made me feel mocked daily. I cornered him on the stairwell landing, blocking his calm exit. He asked what I wanted now. I said respect for my choices. He asked if my choices included Noah. I said yes, proudly. He said Mila needed stability. I said Mila needed a happy mother. I told him jealousy was his sickness, and I would not cure it. He listened without reacting, like my words bounced off glass. His phone alarm chimed once, and he silenced it too quickly. I saw the label paper drop, then he slipped it away. I asked what paper drop meant. He said it was a reminder. I said reminders are for guilty people. He said reminders are for adults. A new key hung on his ring, shiny and unfamiliar. I asked why he had it. He said it was practical. He walked past me, polite, and my anger had no target. At breakfast, he set his mug far from mine again. He asked Mila about school times. I said he already knew. He said he needed exact times and wrote them down quietly. I called him cold. He said he was choosing peace. His calendar flashed Northgate 8:50 a.m., then vanished fast. I joked he was meeting a lover. He did not smile. He said he had errands, and he left without explaining anything. When he returned, the house looked tidier on his side. He stacked mail in straight lines and opened it alone. I heard a shredder hum behind the office door, then stopped. I asked what he shredded. He said old papers and junk. I said he was hiding something. He said he was cleaning. In the living room, his laptop showed a spreadsheet, then minimized. I asked what he tracked. He said schedules and shared expenses. I told myself he was building a control plan, not protection. I posted a vague story about boundaries, and Cass cheered instantly. Cass said I should stop begging for scraps. I said I never begged. Noah texted that he missed me, and I answered too fast. Graham saw my smile and asked who it was. I said work. He nodded once, like he already knew the pattern well. At my office, Priya asked if I was okay at home. I said my husband was punishing me with silence and distance. Priya said optics matter. I said my feelings matter more. That evening, Graham moved a pillow into the guest room again. I asked if he was leaving me. He said he was resting. I said he enjoyed hurting me. He said he avoided chaos. I tried to bait him, saying Noah treated me better than him. He did not bite, and that calm felt like a door closing. He asked if Noah would stop coming around. I said no. He asked if I heard myself. I said yes, and I meant it. He said he would handle things properly without shouting or drama. In the office tower lobby, the elevator bell rang above us beside my heels. A stranger approached, asked my name, and checked my ID badge. Graham stood near the plants, calm, hands empty, eyes steady. The server said I was served, then handed a thick envelope. I saw a summons and petition for dissolution of marriage on top. Under it lay temporary orders limiting new debt and setting parenting time. A hearing date was printed and a response deadline boxed sharply. Priya walked up, read a heading, and turned professionally pale at once. Cass texted laughing emojis, then stopped when I sent one photo. Graham asked for Mila's pickup time today. Only that, softly. I tried to speak, but the lobby heard the paper crackle. The orders said communication must stay written and exchanges follow exact times. Graham turned away as security watched, and my hands shook over Mila's schedule.